So you want to sell your house without a real estate agent? Tyler here with Bridgelight Properties, and today we're going to talk a little bit about what an agent does, how to sell a house without them, and what your options are when you're thinking through that. So really, there's never been a better time in history to sell your house without a real estate agent. With all the data at your fingertips, with tools like Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, you're able to do a lot of the research your own, and that's what real estate agents in the past were kind of helped out with. Most people don't know this, but real estate agents actually do most of their work on the front end of the deal, where it is showing buyers to different properties, getting lockbox access, coordinating showings, and the title company actually does 90% of the legal work and really the number crunching in a real estate transaction outside of negotiating the deal. And a bold prediction, but this isn't my own particularly, but I'm in the camp of believers that in 10 years from now we really won't have real estate agents as prominent as they are today. So outside of these really specialized markets where they're dealing in high-end homes, we predict that there will not be a real estate agent involved in most buy and sell transactions. So let's talk about some reasons why you probably want to sell without a real estate agent. The biggest and most obvious reason is their typical commission is 6%. So on a $250,000 house, that's $15,000 out the door to the agent before it gets to you. Secondly, you really have to find an agent that you can trust. Most people, when they're looking to sell a home or looking for a real estate agent, they reach out to their network or their brother-in-law who they know has a license and maybe sells a house or two a year. They ask to help them with their transaction, and they don't do this every day. They're not pushing and selling a ton of transactions. They might not be in tune with where the market is at the moment. So if you are going to use a real estate agent, find one that does a lot of volume, who's in the market and who does this day in and day out, so they don't have to relearn and keep up or learn new trends that are going on in the market. So we actually know a ton of real estate agents who are absolute rock stars, who know the market inside and out and can walk you through every step of the way. This is only a disclaimer out there for those of you who want to do it on your own, kind of the DIYer, and are looking to save a few bucks. But if you're not in tune with the market at all, or real estate in general, this may be your first transaction, maybe you do want to pick a real estate agent. If you don't, really you have 1 to 2 options. Option 1, and maybe the most obvious, is first sale by owner, FSBO. This is probably the option you're most familiar with, and it's essentially you're selling the house the same way on the real estate market, on the MLS. You're just cutting the real estate agent out of the transaction. So how do you do that? The first step doesn't really change whether you have an agent or not, is you need to get your home prepared to sell on the market. This means fixing anything that's broken, updating the look, feel, and design of the home, fixing and updating any of the appliances, deep cleaning the home, and preparing it for staging. This means kind of decluttering, getting some things out of the way, and prepping it for buyers to walk through the property. You want to think about the outside as well, as the first thing a buyer sees is important. So that initial curb appeal, you want to think about things like landscaping, driveways, roof, windows, siding, things like that. Any blemishes on the home that could turn buyers away, you want to get those knocked out before you decide to put this on the market. Next, you want to do some research to figure out what your home is actually worth. So real estate agents typically do something called comps, or pull comparable sales for homes in the similar condition as yours that have sold. So a lot of people think about what a home is worth based on things they might feel or emotional ties, but a home is really actually worth what someone's willing to pay for it. So if you can find what similar properties have sold for around you, that's a good indication of a ballpark of where your house will sell for as well. The easiest way to do this is go to Zillow, Redfin, and Trulia, kind of do some research. You can pull filters on sold properties, not for sale, but actually sold. You'll probably want to look in the last 3 to 6 months, within a mile to half a mile to your home, and approximate, you probably want to use the exact bedroom match and give or take 100 square feet from your property. Next, you want to hire someone to take professional photographs of the home. Most people try to DIY this, and this is just not somewhere where your time is going to be spent trying to learn how to do this. Pay a professional photographer to come in and take beautiful pictures of the home. That's what really gets people excited online when they're looking at your listing. Next, you want to write a nice, welcoming, charming description of the home. This is something that the buyers are going to read about the home, giving them a quick blurb about anything special, anything that stands out about the neighborhood, the house itself, whether it sits on a cul-de-sac, you have a new updated roof, kind of the highlight reel, essentially in words, is what you're going to type out. Next, you're going to pay an MLS listing fee. Yes, you do need to spend money to get on the MLS. This is where most for sale by owners stop and do not want to pay any money to market the property. However, this is where we highly recommend you get on the MLS. This is where 90% of the buyers are looking. This is where buyers' agents are looking, and this is where you want to be. And this is a big reason why most for sale by owners take on average 68 days longer than a property listed with an agent to sell, as they just simply do not put it on the MLS. They're reliant on a yard sign and maybe a Zillow free listing, but you really need to get on the MLS. Next, once your property is listed, you want to shift your brain into marketing mode. So you want to start sharing your listing on social media, ask friends and family to do the same. You want to keep your phone available. People are going to start calling, looking to schedule showings. We recommend, if you're in a hot market, maybe hold showings into the weekend, maybe do one big open house instead of maybe 5 or 6 showings on a weeknight. That just gets too much to bear, and you really don't need to do that. Kind of hold the showings initially, build some anticipation, hold a big open house, and kind of get people fighting, or give them that sense that a lot of people are interested, so they're encouraged to make a quick move. And lastly, you should expect to be getting calls and contracts from buyer's agents. And if you are working with someone with a buyer's agent, you are expected to pay their 3% commission. This can be negotiated, but at the end of the day, it's not worth it to fight over pennies. These agents are bringing you qualified buyers into your home, and they're well worth the money to work with them to get the transaction closed. So as you see, this can take some time, some preparation. There's a lot of steps, and you definitely don't want to do anything wrong, but it definitely can be done without a realtor involved on the sell side. Option 2 is to sell to a professional home buyer like us here at Bridgelight Properties. So if you don't want to deal with all the hassle of getting the home prepped and ready, getting it on the MLS, getting photos taken, preparing showings, and dealing with a lot of people coming in and out of your house, a professional home buyer like us, we will provide an as-is cash offer that we can close on your schedule. We provide flexible closings. If you need to do it quickly, we're happy to do that. If you need to wait till you find a place, we can lock in a contract and wait till you're squared away. So our process is much more simple. You give us a phone call or go to our website at bridgelightproperties.com, fill out a little bit of information. We walk your home once, so you have one showing as opposed to many, and we give you a fair cash offer. It's then in your court to decide if that offer is right for you and your situation, and we'll kind of wait for you for next steps. The ball's in your court at that point. So once you are ready, we will work with a local title company to walk you through the entire process. Like we said before, they do all the legal and kind of the research on the title, the taxes and insurance. All the nitty-gritty details is worked out by title. We'll walk through that process together, and when you're ready, we'll schedule a closing and get you paid. So much more simple process, but if you're curious or on the fence, just give us a call. We're happy to chat with you, give you our thoughts, and from there, if it doesn't fit for you, you can always at that point put your home on the market yourself. So if that was helpful at all, please like, subscribe, and share. That just tells social media and YouTube that we are putting out valuable content and it is worth watching. So again, much appreciated, and we'll catch you next time.